All right, so AIM 4.2, we did an intro to nationalism yesterday. We talked about its potential impacts, and today we will take a look at how Italy becomes a single unified nation and how nationalism plays a part in that process. Okay, we will wait a second. Copy this down, I'll give you a minute. So at this point, Italy is not its own country. It is more a region of the world. So when we say Italy at this point, we're referring to the Italian peninsula, that boot-shaped landform that sticks out into the Mediterranean Sea. So on the Italian peninsula, there exist several independent kingdoms. All of these are basically their own independent kingdoms. There's some cooperation between them, but by and large, they are distinctly individual kind of political entities. However, they have many things in common. Some of the things they have in common are language, culture, religion, race, ethnicity, things like this. In fact, the people of these kingdoms of Italy have way more things in common than they have not in common. They're very similar. So this will kind of, these things that they have in common, this sameness, is what will glue them together in the process of unification. So for our purposes, unification will be defined as the joining together of two or more territories. That is unification. So this is the story of how each of these individual kingdoms will join together to make up one larger unified country. So we see before the unification what the map of Italy looks like. So this is 1815. So this is just after the fall of Napoleon. So you can see the Sicilies, Tuscany, Lombard, Piedmont, etc. So all of these kingdoms are kind of individual, but they all have certain things in common, like we mentioned. Okay, last slide. This shouldn't take long. So with regard to Italian unification, there are three main characters that we need to be familiar with. The Giuseppes and then Count Cavour. Giuseppe Mazzini will be known as the soul. And then Giuseppe Garibaldi is the sword. And then Count Cavour is the brain. So essentially, in order for this unification process to happen, you need to have someone who's the idea guy. You need someone who has the idea of unification and why it's a good idea and how everyone could benefit from it. And this takes kind of a kind of luminary, a visionary kind of person to see what the possibilities are and why this is something that needs to be done. And then that person needs to get other people kind of on board with them. And that person is Mazzini. Okay. After you figure out that this is a thing that you want to do, now we need someone to design exactly how this is going to be done. That's Count Cavour. He's the brain. He is going to kind of map out the strategy and diplomacy that is necessary in order to make unification possible. So he kind of draws the blueprint. And then last but not least, Giuseppe Garibaldi is the sword. You need people to actually do the dirty work of accomplishing this task, and that will be in the person of Garibaldi. So all three of these people are critical to the process, and all three of them have their own role to play with regard to the unification of the Italian peninsula. So all three of these people together are all important in their own right, and they're all necessary. So that's generally true. So what we're going to do today is you are going to take a closer look at these three individuals and the roles that they play in Italian unification. So I'm going into the classwork now to assign your classwork, and you will see a document that has information on each of these three people, and then you will have a short graphic organizer where you will answer a couple of questions about each of them. Make sure you answer the follow-up questions, and make sure you answer the exit slip, and make sure you hit submit at the end. This class period ends at 1:30. So what I'd like to do is bring everyone back here at 1:25 for the wrap up. So I will see all of you guys back here at 1:25. As always, I will keep the Meet link open for anyone that has questions or needs help. But other than that, you're welcome to get started, and I'll see you guys back here at 1:25.